Chinmay Mataji is not here. Okay. Anita Mataji, you want to do the welcoming?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. You want to start welcoming Mataji? I don't see Chinmay Mataji here. Chinmay Mataji is here. Anita Mataji, you want to do the welcoming?
Mataji, I cannot hear you properly.
Oh, can you start welcoming, Aya, if you're available?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you.
Both. Mataji, I shall take today's Prabhupada's post, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatrupasya kripa sindhutev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrindike jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for all of you for joining today's Chaitanya Bhagavat class. And yeah, so we will be moving on to our session. Before moving on to a session, let me know who are all present on the call.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. This is Preeti Vilasam Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you, Mataji, for your welcoming.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. This is Revati from Atlanta, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Revati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, this is Kamodaki Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Komudiki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Mataji, we can move on to the recording. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you. So I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for the Chaitanya Bhagavat session. Thank you so much for attending the session. So before moving on to the session, I would like to read Prabhupada's quote for today. Today is 27th November. Letter to Lalita Kumar, which was written by Srila Prabhupada on 1971. The governing principle for our activity should be to do what is favorable for pleasing Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhupada, for giving us this mission actually. So, Hare Krishna, Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, we will be moving on to our session now, which is Chaitanya Bhagavat, which will be given by His Grace, Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji. So, the verses will be from Madhya khanda, chapter 6, from text 1 to 16. Hare Krishna, Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your valuable time and association and joining the call. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudin Prajeshwar Vihyam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandapurukumaya Vindaya Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-njana-salakaya Chakshuro-militam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu-padaya Vishnu Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Gauravani. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauri. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna. Obeisances to all the devotees in this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference. So today we are going to begin the Madhya khanda chapter 6. We'll read from text 1 to 16. Let me share the screen. Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Vritya Tasya Vishvesha Murter Jayati Jayati Vritya Tasya Sarva Priyana. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra, who is fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead and the abode of transcendental pastimes. All glories to his eternally pure activities. Sri Gaurachandra is the controller of all other controllers, the Lord of the universe, and the embodiment of transcendental knowledge. All glories to his devotees and all glories to the dancing of his beloved associates. Jaya Jaya Jagata Jivana Gaurachandra Dana Deha Hridaya Tomara Padadvandva. All glories to Gaurachandra, the life and soul of the universe. Please give your lotus feet in charity to my heart. Jaya Jaya Jagata Mayayata Gaurachandra Kinkara. All glories to the all auspicious Vishwambara. All glories to the servants of Gaurachandra. Jaya Shri Paramananda Purira Jivana Jaya Damodara Swarupera Pranadana. All glories to the life and soul of Paramananda Puri. All glories to the life and wealth of Swarupa Damodar. Jaya Rupa Sanatana Priya Mahashaya Jaya Jagadisha Gopi Natera Hridaya. All glories to the dear Lord of Rupa and Sanatana. All glories to the Lord who is the heart and soul of Jagadisha and Gopinatha. Gopinatha is the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma. Jaya Jaya Dwarapala Govindera Natha Shubhatrishipata. All glories to the Lord of Govinda, the doorkeeper. O Lord, please glance mercifully on the living entities. Govinda is a servant of Ishvara Puri, the companion of Mahaprabhu. He namate Nityananda Sange Gaura Chandra Bhaktagana Laya Kare Sankirtana Ranga. In this way, Gaura Chandra, in the association of Nityananda, enjoyed Sankirtan pastimes with the devotees. Yekarneshunah Advaitera Agamana Madhya Kande Yemate Hailadarashana. Now here in the Madhya Court, the arrival of Advaita Prabhu and his meeting with the Lord. Ekadina Mahaprabhu Ishvara Aveshe Ramayre Ajñakari Lena Purnarase. One day, Mahaprabhu, in the mood of the Supreme Lord, lovingly instructed Ramay. Chalaha Ramaya Tumi Advaitera Vasa Tandrasthana Kahagiya Amara Prakasha. Ramay, go to the house of Advaita and inform him that I have manifested. Ramay is the youngest brother of Srivas. Yandralagi Karila Vistara Aradhana. Yandralagi Karila Vistara Upavasa. Se Prabhu Tomara Asi Haila Prakasha. Tell him that the Lord he worshipped for so long, the Lord he cried for, the Lord he fasted for, that Lord has now manifest. Bhakti Yoga Vilaite Tandra Agamana Apane Asiya Jata Karavivartana. He has appeared to distribute a devotional service. He should come immediately to join him. The word jata means immediately or quickly. The word vivartana means beginning of an activity. Dancing, wandering, changing, or being present. You should personally come at once. In other words, meet me. Nirjane kahibo nityananda agamana yekichu dekila tandre kahibo katana. Also secretly inform him about Nityananda's arrival and whatever else you have seen. Amara Pujara Sarva Upahara Lana Jata Asibare Bala Sastrika Haya. Tell him to quickly come here with his wife and articles for my worship. Srivasa Anuja Rama Agnya Shiredari Saikshane Chalila Smanari Hari Hari. Being ordered by Lord, Ramay Pandit, the younger brother of Srivas, remembered Lord Hari and immediately left. Hare Krishna. So, we are reading, beginning this 6th chapter, Madhya Khanda. I will just briefly speak something, whatever I could gather related to this series of verses. And then we'll speak something related to today. Today is last day of Kartik Krishna Rasa Yatra. So I'll speak something related to that also. So we see in this particular series of shlokas, the main thing we see is that Ramay Pandit to go and actually bring Advaita Acharya. Mahaprabhu is telling that Advaita Advaita Acharya only has actually, in this pastime, Mahaprabhu has come in the mode of the Supreme Lord, and he is telling that Advaita Acharya only called me to descend to this world. So now I have appeared to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. So therefore, you please go and call Advaita Acharya to come and join me, to assist me in the spreading of the Sankirtan movement. So we see this kind of pastime almost consistently in Ram Leela, Krishna Leela, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. When we see in the Krishna Leela, the 10th canto, beginning first chapter, Mother Earth approaches Lord Brahma and tells that I am overburdened by the demonic population. The Deva and the Brahma, along with the Devatas and along with the Mother Earth, they go to the shore of the milk ocean, and Brahma meditates on the Lord. And then the Lord tells to Brahma that I already know the problem of the Mother Earth. I am already decided to appear in this world to alleviate the burden of the Mother Earth. And then the Lord tells to Brahma that all of you Devatas, you must also take birth in the different dynasties, Vrishni, Andaka dynasty, these dynasties, in order to assist me in my pastimes. Although the alone, independently, but he is asking the Devatas who prayed for his appearance, he is also making them, he is giving them a part in his pastime, he is giving them a role. He is telling them also to take some responsibility. Although Lord can do everything immediately, independently, but he is telling them also to assist in his pastime. He is telling them to take birth. And the Ramayana also, when we read Balakanda, there also the Devatas, they go to, I think, they approach Vishnu along with Brahma. And Vishnu tells that I am going to appear. The Devatas were pained by the atrocities of Ravana, and they are appealing to Vishnu. And then Vishnu tells that I am going to appear very soon as a human being, and I will actually kill actually Ravana. So at that time, either Vishnu or Brahma, one of them, they instruct the other Devatas, all of you Devatas, you must also appear in the Vanara dynasty in order to assist Lord Ram in his mission of killing Ravana. The specific instructions were given to the different Devatas. So Devatas were also, then they took birth as the different Vanara dynasties. Vali, Sugriva, Hanuman, different Angada, all these personalities, Jambavan. So, and we see here, Ramayana also, we don't see a single spectator for that war. All the Vanaras were in the war, assisting Lord Ram. And here in Chaitanya Prabhu's Leela also, Advaita Acharya prayed for Mahaprabhu's descent, but Mahaprabhu is calling Advaita Acharya also to take part in the Sankirtan mission. Now, this is a consistent theme in Krishna Leela, Ram Leela, and Chaitanya Leela. So, why I am mentioning here is that because in the modern times, for example, we have say cricket culture or a football culture, where few people play and then millions of people watch the game. So, or the movie culture, hero culture we have. So this culture, what it actually, how it conditions a person is that people, they don't want to personally take some responsibility, put some hard work they want some superhero to come and actually perform the superhuman activities. That is what this modern culture actually unconsciously it conditions a person like that. Sometimes, so that we may treat the leader like a superhuman. We want the leader only to perform all the superhuman actions. But actually, when we see the Ram Leela, Krishna Leela, Chaitanya Leela, the Lord is engaging everyone also to take part in his puja. Mahaprabhu told that there are so many fruits of love of Godhead in the garden. I have only 2 hands. How many fruits can I distribute? So I need the help of so many devotees to distribute these fruits. So he is actually seeking the help of everyone. That way Mahaprabhu is actually calling for Advaita Acharya. Bring Advaita Acharya. He must also take part in my mission. So that is the invitation Mahaprabhu gives for Advaita Acharya. And the second part I want to discuss about some things we'll see briefly about Krishna's Rasa Leela. The day the first day before the Kartik month, Sharad Purnima, that is also Rasa Leela. Today is also the Rasa Leela day. So Rasa Leela is the highest Leela of Krishna. So in the Rasa Leela, there is one beautiful verse. The higher person climbs on the ladder of spiritual, the more difficult it is to recognize because love by its very nature hides itself. And the Rasa Leela is the best example for this. Because in Rasa Leela, the gopis actually, they left their homes, they left their husbands in order to have a relationship with Krishna. So from a material point of view, it appears to be like a human being's lower nature, an affair outside the marriage. But actually, in a spiritual point of view, it is the most elevated account of the secret love affair of the absolute truth. How it is the highest platform of love? We can see from the personalities who aspired to take part in the Ras Leela. The personality like Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami, what a personality he is. One second. There's a beautiful Subhashita which talks about Sajjana and Durjana. It says that the milk which we obtain from a cow, today or tomorrow it will turn into a curd. But the milk in the milk ocean, it will never undergo a transformation. It will never undergo a vikara. It will never undergo a vikara. So similarly, the mind of an ordinary living entity is like the milk from the cow. Our mind easily undergoes a transformation, easily gets affected by kama, krodha, lobha, etc. in different situations. But the mind of a great soul is like the milk in the milk ocean. It never undergoes a vikara by kama, krodha, lobha, etc. Gavadinam payon yedyuhu sadyo va jate dadi shiro dadestu nadyapi mahatam vikriti kutah. The meaning of the Subhashita is what I stated just now. So Shukdev Goswami is an example of such a great soul whose mind did not undergo a vikara even slightly when he saw some young women taking bath without any clothes. But such a kind of Shukdev Goswami, uh, he actually speaks about the Ras Leela. He speaks about the Ras Leela. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he considers Ras Leela as the highest pastime of Krishna. And the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Tyaktva Turnam Ashesha Mandalapatir Shrenim Sada Tuchavat. They were actually Mandalapati, but they rejected everything as if it is like a piece of straw. But such 6 Goswamis, they actually they show highest appreciation for Ras Leela. And Ras Leela is aspired after by the Uddhava. Uddhava actually desires to take birth as a Gulmalata in order to be trampled by the gopis of Vrindavan. Narada Muni becomes a Naradiya gopi in order to assist in the Ras Leela. Lord Shiva becomes a gopi in order to guard the Ras Leela arena. Brahmaji becomes a mountain in order to serve Srimati Radharani, the gopis in Barsana. So what we see here is that like in this world, somebody aspires to undergo a sex change. Certain parts of the world, there are sex change clinics are there. A man wants to become a female and a female wants to become a male. There is a whole process. They undergo a surgery and they undergo the whole process. They become the opposite gender. But that is considered as that is actually as a sign of a frustration. They are not satisfied with the God-given sharira, and they artificially try to become the opposite gender. So in the material world, the material platform, it is considered as something very low, inferior. Sometimes certain parts of the world, like Bangkok, where people there is so much of prostitution. Some men, in order to earn money, they undergo sex change in order to become prostitutes and then earn money. So these are very perverted thought process of the human beings which we see in this world. But surprisingly, the similar thought who became a gopi, Lord Shiva who became a gopi, and Uddhava, he was aspiring for a species change to become a Gulmalata. And this is considered, these aspirations of these personalities, they actually show the highest, how the Rasa Leela and the love of the gopis towards Krishna, how it is the highest epitome of all the perfection. Because these personalities are such extraordinary personalities, they aspire for such desires. And so Ras Leela, sometimes one may wonder that what is the benefit of Ras Leela in the practical world? The practical world, we are faced with so many problems in our world. What is the benefit in the practical world, the different problems? So Shukdev Goswami speaks about the Falastuti of Ras Leela. This is a very famous verse at the end of the 10th canto, 33rd chapter. Vikriditam Rajavadubiridam cha Vishno Shraddhanvito Nushunuyat Atavarnayetya Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Hridrogamashvapahino Tachirena Dhira. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavan will attain the Lord's pure devotional service, and he will quickly become sober and conquer Kama, the disease of the heart. So in this verse, one of the Falasuti of Ras Leela, it is described that Hridroga Mash Apahinoti Achirena Dira. So the disease of the heart, that is the Kama, that will be vanquished by hearing the Ras Leela. So Kama means selfishness. In whatever problem we see in this world, whether it is environmental problem or family problems, any problem in this world, if we go to the root of the problem, the root cause of the problem is selfishness. And the practical benefit of hearing Ras Leela is that the selfishness is eradicated. So in that sense, Ras Leela has a very practical relevance to all the problems of this world. And because Ras Leela can be misunderstood when a person with a materialistic consciousness who is not pure, when he hears Ras Leela, it can remind him of his lusty desires. He may get more agitated. He can get more agitated. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam gradually takes a person to the 10th canto. But the same Ras Leela which Krishna performed with the gopis, the same Ras Leela is actually demonstrated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with his devotees through the Sankirtan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan, it cannot be misunderstood. And anybody can take part. Anybody can take part easily. So in that sense, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan is not different from the Ras Leela of the Vrindavan. And by taking part in the Sankirtan, also the heart, the desire of the lust, the selfishness will be eradicated. This is about Ras Leela, the relevance of the Ras Leela in the current time. And the Ras Leela, one devotee beautifully writes that Ras Leela is a tale of selflessness to the extreme hidden. Selflessness to the extreme, hidden in an exterior of selfish love. So Ras Leela, it appears like a selfish love, because suppose when a woman leaves her husband in order to have an affair with some other man, it is considered to be like something selfish act. So Ras Leela has a packaging of the selfish love, but actually the inner substance of Ras Leela, it is selflessness to the peak. It is the highest peak of selfless love towards Krishna. That selfish love in which we are all involved and thus most eager to hear about. In this world, many people are eager to hear about the such kind of affairs actually. Some premarital affairs or extramarital affairs. General tendency of the condition so. So such kind of selfish love in which we are all involved and most eager to hear about is the context in which the ultimate in selflessness is couched. The highest in selflessness is covered or is couched with the external context of the selfish love. And just like imaginary example which I can think. So suppose like a local train, somebody travels in Bombay local train, there are so luggage compartment. Luggage compartment, there are so many people carry the sacks of different goods. So, but suppose somebody is carrying the costliest diamonds in some ordinary sacks. Nobody will actually think, even in the remotest corner of his mind, that there are some costliest diamonds are present in those sacks. But it is something ordinary packaging. but it is having the highest thing. So the Ras Leela is the peak of selflessness, selfless love towards Krishna, but it is couched in the packaging of selfish love. So the material world is a miserable place, it's a temporary place. But if a person is told, if he is not told about the spiritual world, then he is only given only half truth. Many times, half truth can be worse than no truth at all. So one has to be given the complete truth. So in the material world, the pleasure which a person obtains in different say activities of sense gratification, it is a temporary pleasure. It is more like trying to catch a mango in the river. A person sees a mango in the river, and how much ever he may go deep into the river, he can never obtain that mango. But then at the end, suppose after a lot of endeavor, he comes to the understanding there is no mango in the river. But then he is not aware that the real mango is in the tree. Then he has only half the truth. He is only aware of the illusory nature of the mango in the river, but he is not aware of the real mango in the tree. So similarly, that so when people they only know about the nature of the material world or the nature of the different materialistic activities, but if they are not aware of the positive spiritual activities, then they only have half the knowledge actually. So therefore, in the very first verse of the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Prabhupada says that the impersonalists by their actually by their impersonal philosophy, by not highlighting the personal activities of the absolute truth, they indirectly give emphasis to the materialistic activities only. Something to this effect. So therefore, the living entity is looking for the positive spiritual pleasure, but if he is not told about the positive spiritual pleasure, or the original Ras Leela between the Krishna and the Gopis, if he is not aware of that, then eventually he may again enter into the river in order to get the mango only, in order to get the illusory mango only. So if a person moves from the negative numbers to zero, then zero appears to have a positive value. But actually zero does not have a positive value. But just because we are moving from negative numbers to zero, zero appears to have a positive value. But actually higher than zero, their actual positive numbers are there. So similarly, that a person who is frustrated with the say illusory happiness of this world, when he attains say Brahman realization or the Sayuja Mukti, or when he experiences Brahmananda, he thinks that this is the highest happiness. Just like a person may think that zero is the positive number. But actually in truth, the happiness from experiencing rasa with Krishna, that is much superior to the Brahmananda. So just like there are positive numbers above zero. So therefore, Ras Leela gives information about the Adi Rasa, the original exchange between the male and the female in the pure form. the completely spiritual form between Krishna and the gopis. And I'll discuss few things about in the 10th canto. In 5 chapters, Ras Leela are described. All the 5 chapters have many profound sections are there. I'll focus on one particular section, the 10th canto, 32nd chapter. In the 32nd chapter, 32nd chapter is the reunion of Krishna with the gopis. He is actually leave everything and they come to meet Krishna. And then Krishna actually initially tells the gopis to go back. But gopis, they understood the real heart's desire of Krishna and they refuse to go back. They stay with Krishna. And then Krishna starts actually performing leelas with the gopis, giving them the feeling that he is there with each gopi exclusively. And suddenly, when each gopi was thinking that they are only with me, so at that time Krishna suddenly disappears. And then Krishna goes along with Srimati Radharani to a lonely place. And then when Srimati Radharani suddenly thinks that, oh, I am so special. So Krishna left all the gopis only to be there with me. At that time, Krishna leaves the association of Srimati Radharani also. So then, at that time, all these gopis were frantically looking for Krishna in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the night. And then they also come across Srimati Radharani who was left all alone. And then together they sing the Gopi Gita. That is the 31st chapter. And then the 32nd chapter, again Krishna suddenly manifests and then he reunites with the gopis. So at that time the gopis actually ask some questions to Krishna about why he behaved in that manner. Those questions are very profound. Some other time, some other devotee will discuss why he behaved in that way. So at that time, Krishna replies to the gopis in 6 shlokas. So in one of the shloka, the Krishna glorifies the love of the gopis. So this is a very profound speaks towards the gopis. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, at the end of the Uddhava Gita, Uddhava expresses his gratitude to Krishna. Naivo payantyapachitiim kavayastavesha Brahma yushapi kritam ruddha mudasmaranta Yontar bahis tanubrutam ashubam vidunvan Acharya chaitya vapusha swagatim yanakti. The transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. Because for you appear in 2 features, externally as the spiritual master, as the Acharya, and internally as the Paramatma, to deliver the conditioned soul from the samsara. So Uddhava is saying that how one cannot repay the debt towards Krishna even in a lifetime of Brahma. And Krishna makes the same statement towards the gopis. Naparayeham niravadya samyuja swasadu krityam vibudayushapiva yama bhajandur jarageha shrinkala samvrishya tadva pratiyatu sadhuna. Krishna says that I am not able to repay my debt at the time of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. Niravadya samyujam. And you have worshipped me. Ya ma bhajan durjara geha shrinkala. By cutting off all the domestic ties. Geha shrinkala. which are very difficult to break, durjara, samvrishya, by cutting off. And then he says that, therefore, swasadu krityam, let your own glorious deeds, swasadu krityam, pratiyatu sadhuna, be your compensation. Be satisfied with your own deeds, because I cannot repay the debt towards you even in a lifetime of Brahma. So, this is a profound statement Krishna says. So, the Bhagavan is actually all powerful. He possesses unlimited powers and inconceivable powers. How can Bhagavan be unable to repay the debt of some menial service, or how can he? How can it be impossible to perform, to repay something? Because kartum, akartum, anyata kartum. Bhagavan means he can undo anything, he can do anything. Nothing is impossible for him to do. So how is it that he is unable to repay the debt? So the Acharya has explained that the feature of the gopis' affection, which is unattainable by Krishna, is the exclusivity of the gopis' love. The one-pointed devotion that recognizes nothing else and no one else as the object of the attention. This is called as Ananya Bhakti. That is the feature of gopis' love towards Krishna. But in the case of Krishna, Krishna is the Lord of the universe, Jagannath, Jagadishwara. And Krishna is obliged to maintain the dharma in this world, maintain order in this world. And all the living entities in this world, the birds, animals, non-devotees, devotees, if Krishna were to neglect them for the purpose of honoring his loving commitment exclusively to some people, then the three worlds would cease to exist. The order in this world would be destroyed, would be disturbed. The three worlds would cease to exist. So Krishna has responsibility in different directions. But the gopis' love towards Krishna is one-pointed. So therefore, Krishna is saying that I am unable to repay. So when Krishna is saying I am unable to repay the debt towards the gopis, the Acharyas say that they talk about the four debts which were incurred by Krishna towards the gopis. What is the first debt? The gopis' sacrifice towards Krishna. When the gopis happily sacrificed everything just to love Krishna. And then on top of that, the gopis were unceremoniously abandoned by Krishna in the middle of the forest. And Krishna admitted that his behavior was unjust. So the first is gopi sacrifice towards Krishna and the Krishna's abandoning them. This is the first debt of Krishna towards the gopis. The second debt is that even when Krishna abandoned the gopis, what was the behavior of the gopis? Even in their sorrow, the character of the gopis remained exemplary. Their dealings were polite. Their exchanges were openly honest. So even in their sorrow, the gopis exhibited such exemplary behavior. So by neglecting the gopis, Krishna incurred his second debt. And the third debt is that Krishna is dependent on the gopis to relish rasa. A cow is the source of the milk, but the cow is unable to deliver the milk without a milkman. A musical instrument, however refined it may be, it is unable to make sounds without a musician. Similarly, Krishna is the embodiment of rasa, Akila Rasamrita Murti, Rasa Raja. But Krishna is unable to enjoy rasa without the help of his devotees. So therefore, that Krishna incurs his third debt to the gopis by being dependent upon the gopis as the foundation of his happiness. By being dependent upon the gopis' love as the foundation of his happiness. And the fourth debt of Krishna towards the gopis is that the exclusivity of the love of the gopis. As I mentioned that the gopis' love was exclusively focused on Krishna. The qualitative aspect of gopis' love. But Krishna had to reciprocate with other devotees, with the Pandavas, with the devotees in Mathura. He had to reciprocate with the Shrutadev, Bahulashva, the devotees in Swargaloka. Krishna had to kill different demons and establish dharma in this world. But the gopis were exclusively focused on Krishna. So in this way, Krishna incurred 4 debts towards the gopis. And these 4 debts undertaken with billions of gopis. According to some description, there were 3 billion gopis in the Ras Leela. The 4 debts multiplied by 3 billion. So Krishna felt, oh, such a huge debt. So in this world also, so suppose somebody took a loan from something, and then when he's trying to repay the loan, and then at a certain point it becomes the loan amount becomes so much, and he's unable to repay the debt. So at that time he says that मैं दिवाला हो गया. I have become bankrupt. And maybe I think government also declares, so he's become bankrupt. In one sense, Krishna is declaring his bankruptcy statement here. I am unable to repay the debt even in lifetime of Brahma. Better you be satisfied with your own service. So, in this way, Krishna had these 4 debts towards the 3 billion gopis. So, this point actually is also highlighted by Prabhupada. When we read Prabhupada's Krishna book, I'll read that particular section from Prabhupada's Krishna book. Krishna is telling to the gopis, to live with the burden of such a debt will be very difficult. Under the circumstances, being unable to bear the inconvenience of such an obligation, my only course of action is to beg the munificence of the moneylenders. My dear Gopikas, you are possessed of liberal hearts and are adorned with the most generous goodwill. I can only submit my petition to you. Please let my debt be repaid by your own wonderful qualities. I have no resort other than your kindness. See, if we see in this particular paragraph, Prabhupada emphasizes Krishna's ability to repay the gopis with the words, I cannot repay your continuous love. And then again he says that it is impossible to repay you. Again he says that it is not possible for me to repay my debt towards you. So 3 times he is mentioning the same point. He repeats the same point 3 times due to the importance in understanding Krishna's attitude towards the gopis' love. So especially even in the material world, the Mahabharata, there's a Yaksha Prashna section comes. Yaksha asks 124 questions to Yudhishthira Maharaj. one of the last question he asks is that who is a happy person? And then Yudhishthira Maharaj, he says that the happy person, one of the answer he gives is that happy person is a person who gets to eat hot food cooked at home, who does not have to travel a long distance for work, and who does not have any debts. There may be some other answer for it. So, a happy person is one who does not have debts. Especially when a person has a debt, even in a material analysis also, it becomes a constant source of anxiety for a person. But here Krishna is exhibiting a transcendental inadequacy. This should not be taken as a what we see as a bankruptcy statement in the material world. This is a transcendental inadequacy, and this is actually not a fault on the Supreme, rather it is an ornament of the character of Krishna. It is an ornament called as Bhakta Vatsalyata. So Krishna has no reservation to admit a subordinate position in the art of reciprocal love. And so both Krishna and the devotees love one another, but the character of the love affairs, according to the natures, they differ actually. The character of Krishna's love towards the gopis, Krishna's love towards the devotees, and devotees' love towards Krishna, the quality of their love actually differs. It is this particular difference in the character between the Vishaya Vigraha towards the Ashraya Vigraha and the Ashraya Vigraha towards the Vishaya Vigraha that causes Krishna to continuously fall in arrears. So this difference between Krishna's love towards the devotees and the devotees' love towards Krishna, the difference has two aspects. What are the two aspects? The first aspect is that, as I mentioned before, Krishna's love is spread to every living entity in the creation. On the other hand, devotees' love is focused only towards Krishna. So this inherent inability to match the exclusivity of the devotee's attachment towards him, that causes Krishna to fall behind him in loving exchange. This is the first difference. And the second difference is that the disposition of the Vishaya Vigraha and the disposition of the Ashraya Vigraha. So Krishna's supremacy is an enjoyment. So therefore, he is a supreme enjoyer. So by his innate disposition, he lives for the exchanges of love, and he possesses an insatiable craving to be loved. And compelled by his nature, Krishna instinctively strives to satisfy himself, even when he is engaged in obliging his devotees. But the mood of the Ashraya Vigraha is that they want to give love towards Krishna. They want to perform service to Krishna. So these are the two aspects of the difference between Krishna's love towards the devotees and devotees' love towards Krishna. So how can actually, but then how can Krishna repay the debt? So theoretically speaking, for Bhagavan, nothing should be impossible. So is there any scope for the Bhagavan to repay the debt towards the gopis? That is possible. Is there any scope for him to stop enjoying, to reimburse his creditors without adopting a completely different character? Because nothing should be impossible for Bhagavan. So it should definitely be possible for Bhagavan. Of course, it's a theoretical answer. But what is the actual answer? How can it be possible? If the Vishaya Vigraha, that is Bhagavan, if he were to adopt the mood of the Ashraya Vigraha, then an entirely different archetype would emerge. If Krishna were to take the role of the shelter of love, Ashraya Vigraha, his devotee, then his natural inclination would be to serve. And this new identity would also equip him with the one-pointed devotion, which he as a Vishaya Vigraha so admired, which he as a Vishaya Vigraha admired in his devotees. So the only way by which he can repay the debt towards the gopis is that if he takes the mood of the Ashraya Vigraha, if he takes the mood of the the devotee. And then when he takes the mood of the Ashraya Vigraha, by its very nature, his love will also have the one-pointed attention towards the Bhagavan, towards the Vishaya Vigraha. So therefore, that is the reason for Krishna's appearance as Caitanya Mahaprabhu. This point is also explained by certain acharyas in the commentaries. So therefore, we see that Ras Leela is a very profound subject matter. In the Ras Leela, Krishna actually glorified the gopis' sacrifice towards him, and he speaks that how he is indebted towards the gopis. So today, in summary, what we discussed firstly about how both in Ram Leela, Krishna Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, the Bhagavan asked the devotees who actually appealed to him to descend to this world. Bhagavan asked those devotees also to take part in his mission, to assist him in his mission. We discussed on this line. And then we discussed something about the high position of Ras Leela. And then we discussed some points related to how Krishna exhibits his indebtedness towards the gopis. Hare Krishna. I end here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such an excellent class. Actually, I thought the verses were so general, but you could whip up such a beautiful class from these verses, starting with how the devotees are engaging in the service of the Lord in his Leela, the three different Leelas, and then highlighting on Rasa Leela and telling us how Krishna remains indebted to the gopis, and unless he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of the gopis, he will never understand it. So thank you so much. I don't have any questions, but thank you so much for such a beautiful class today and inspiring all of us, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, if you have any questions, comments, or realizations, please go ahead. Would anyone like to ask any questions or have any realizations?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you for such an amazing class. I really loved, one thing really struck me because it resonated with what I'm doing. And that was that we definitely need to make sure that we currently look for one person as a hero. So the spiritual master, okay, he's a hero. Let him be the spectator and let Guru Maharaj go and keep on continuing whatever great things he's achieving. We don't realize that we also need to join hands and take part in this mission. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. A really amazing class. Thank you for sharing about the whole rasa pastime. Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you again, Prabhuji, for this very wonderful session. We're very grateful to you for consistently coming on the call and giving us your beautiful classes.
Thank you, Mother.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
engaging
Koti
in
Koti
this
Dandvat
service,
Pranam.
accepting my service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandvat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Radha Gopinath Ki Jai. Thank you for every time you are coming and inspiring us. Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandvat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Mr. Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all. So we'll all
Srila Prabhupada ki
the
jai.
devotee to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpata dosha kripa sandhubheva cha patitanam bhavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai
Jai.
Vallabh Prabhuji ki
Jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.